Okay.
Okay. Little camera trouble. Alright, this is the deck that I came in 3rd place with at mechacon. It was in New Orleans. I was running Fabled. I used 1 chaos sorcerer. It will be a black luster soldier when the new format hits. That's one of the only changes. I ran 3 tour guides, 1 Sangan. Everyone knows how that works. Also, the reason tour guide's really good in this deck is because of Kushano. It's also a 3-star fiend, and we want this in the grave. So if we already use Sangan, it's an even better play. 2 cruises. 3 is a little too dead, so 2 just works perfect. 2 chawas. The entire tournament, I needed 1 more. So I will definitely add in my 3rd, but it was just really hard to take out a card, but I'll figure it out. 3 Gremros, the Searcher. If you're running pure Fableds, or basically pure Fableds, I should say, you always run 3. 3 Tengus, again, with Fableds. It's amazing. That's the OTK card with all of our tuners. 3 Servals. What Serval does is, it makes our Bryanak plays, or we go for Reagan, and then we end up special summoning another one of these after we already drew. And then we just go into Wyvern and attack the game almost always with the Tengu, Bryanak. It's 1 global. A lot of people told me I shouldn't use this if I'm not running the plan engine, but I love it at 1. It brings out Catastor or Bryanak or, so many plays, and it's just amazing in general. I run 2 Snipe Hunters. Snipe Hunter, for me, it hates me. I always roll 1 and 6s. Ask any one of my locals or any of my friends. I hit 4 1s in a row when I was in the tournament, and then I hit 2 6s, and then finally it started working after that. Still an amazing card though. I also run Allure, so it's a great Allure target, and then Tour Guide into Leviair, bring it back, everything else. 2 Ganashas. With the Tour Guides, Ganasha is even better, because when it's removed from play when you special summon it, summon Tour Guide later on. If you already used your Leviathan, or number 17, you just go for Leviair, send the Sangan to the grave, or the Kushana to the grave, bring out Ganasha, just free cards. That was my monster lineup. I run, I think, 6 Starks in here, and I'm only running 1 BLS, or Chaos Source for now, but it will be BLS. The only changes would be, this would be Black Luster Soldier, and I took out 1 Pot of Avarice for 1 Chawa. That's what it will be, since Avarice went to 1. Trunade, obviously it's a game changer. It will become Heavy Storm. That's the last. Card Destruction, double Avarice. I was originally running 1 Avarice, then added 2, then took 1 out. I usually draw 2 opening hand, but if I didn't, it was amazing. I mean, mid-game, it's the best top deck you could possibly ask for. Mind Control. I run 3 Servals. I'm going to be running 3 Chawas, a Glow Up Bulb, a Kushano. I think that's 8 tuners I run all together. It's almost never dead. Double Misty. I won't add a 3rd, I don't believe. 2 is fine for me, and with people not set 5 anymore, it's going to be, 2 will work just as well. I side in a 3rd for macro or D fissures if I go against like Fissure Sams or Glads. 1 Dark Hole, I main it. A lot of decks are starting to take it out, like Samurais and stuff like that. I mean, they might not need it, but to me it's amazing. Reborn, again, it's just a staple. Allure. When I first ran Allure, for some odd reason, I thought it said discard all cards in your hand to the graveyard. So, that messed me up whenever I was playtesting the deck. But, I found out after I just read it again. I still love it because I run Chaos Sorcerer at the time, so it was an extra dark. 3 Tour Guides, a Sangan, double Snipe Hunter. I loved opening with this, Snipe Hunter and Tour Guide. Activate it, remove Snipe Hunter, summon Tour Guide, Leviair, Sangan Search, summon. It just made mad pluses. And it's draw power, if nothing else, it works for me. My trap lineup, 1 Trenel. I ran 3 Reckless because in Fabled, Reckless is just a great card all around. You go Reagan draws so often, and then you just draw into more of these, or you use these to get those draws, and it's just amazing. Especially when you open up with more than 1 in hand. And for my last 2 traps, I ran 1 Mere Force and 1 Decree. I chose 1 Decree over Trapstone or over Judgment because I don't like paying life points if I don't have to because of Wyvern. But mainly because Decree, there was a bunch of Tech Genis decks, you know, the Skill Drains, the Horns. This just stops them completely, and also stops their Skill Drain and their TI trap card. Overall, this was giving me game countless time in the tournament. I was 5-0. I 2-0'd every single deck I played too up to that point. There were 3 undefeated people left. Me, a Samurai deck, and some Chaos Tengu shenanigans. The one with Maxis and Effect Failers. I ended up losing to Scraps as my first loss. I kind of just opened up pretty bad. That was really the only reason I lost. Yeah, it wasn't a good loss, but it happened. Don't throw stuff. And then for 3rd place, my loss was against Sam's that main D fissure. It went game 3, but he was playing an odd build. He was running the trap card that bounced 2 monsters, and he only controlled 1 Sam. And I just wasn't expecting it. Caught me off guard, and it won.
Do you know how long you can put your videos up?
10 minutes.
Okay.
That was the deck. Oh, extra.
You got 3 minutes.
That's fine.
Just making sure.
1 Leviathan, Mind Control into the tuner, into their 8-star, and then you can sync off their Stardust, sync off their Scrap Dragon, anything like that. It made me, amazing plays. 1 Mistworm. I don't have the Trishula anymore. I traded it off, and then I started playing this deck again. So it would be a Trishula, just didn't have it at the time. 1 Scrap Dragon, 1 Stardust for my 8s. I chose that over Colossal, simply, simple. 1 Black Rose, 1 Wyvern. Wyvern is our boss monster for this whole deck. It gives us game time and time again, as any Fabled player would know. A Gaia Knight and a Brionac. I think I'm going to change this to an Orient Dragon, but I'm still deciding. I just don't like going Orient, then they go Effect Failure, and then you can't run over the Sheehan, or you can't run over whatever they have. 1 Catastor. Simple, good card. 3 Reagans. I don't run Librarian because I don't like Librarian in here. It's okay if you run the Plant Engine, but with the Plant Engine that just got hit anyway, it's much better, much better. And 1 Unicorn, 4 stars. Ask, the guy, cameraman right now, screws him all the time.
Yeah, it does.
Hit their Tengu when you have the same number of cards in hand, or hit their Searcher, negates the effect. And then I run 1 of each of these. I'd like to run 2 of him, but there's absolutely no room, no card I could take out. But this worked amazing for me. First turn going into this guy with Tour Guide, Sangan.
You got 2 minutes.
Yeah, adding anything, it's perfect. My side deck was pretty jank, truthfully. It was just a throw together side. A Dust Tornado for the D fissures, 2 Puppet Plants. Let's see, I ran 2 Debunks. Didn't really use it often. I sided in, just never drew into it. I sided in 2 more Decrees against trap-heavy decks. That was about it. A Kinetic Soldier, a Lightning Vortex, and Double Crow. Lightning Vortex is a card that I'd like to main, but Dark Hole is just better. But I'd like to run both, but just really can't find room for it, truthfully. Double Gozen Match, a Malevolent, and 1 Imperial Iron Wall for that full-blown macro deck.
He's got like 1 minute and 5 seconds.
Okay. That's all good. Well, that's the deck list. Comment. Thanks.